It's the NFL on EA.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
This is what this man was born for, the big spotlight on a national stage like this. Really, his entire career, he's demonstrated incredible poise, no matter what type of situation his team was in. No situation is too big for him, and you can tell in the way that he takes the field. His self-belief is evident, and he gets the job done in his mind each and every time.
And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now a 2nd and 10. Robinson with another carry. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. You look at this Cowboy defense. They've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out come the Cowboys under head coach Mike McCarthy. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Daniels looking to throw. Open man right side is Rice. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and 3rd and 8 now. Here's Daniels. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here. but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Purdy looking to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Purdy. Can't get away, and he's taken down. And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And here's Matt Araiza now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And they will take over 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Throwing now is Daniels. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter. Here's another good example.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Myers. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 31, here's the 2nd down and 6. Robinson on a give right side. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Azeez Ojulari. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Matt Araiza now on to punt this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They got to get going.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To throw is Daniels. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 55 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. Now Daniels. That's taken in by Kraft. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards, the final tally. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. To the air goes Daniels. Over the middle, a catch by Coleman. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open, he just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. First carry now for A.J. Dillon. Shrugs him off. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They go draw play. It's Dillon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Daniels working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. The Cowboys had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And what doubly stings for them, CD, they lose week 1 at home, and now here on the road week 2. So it's certainly not a must-win, but boy, you hate to start a season with 2 straight losses.
Yeah, because you sort of feel like you're playing from behind right from the beginning, and that can really mess with your confidence. Plus, if you get to 0-2, here come the articles, here comes the sports talk shows, pointing out the small percentage of teams that make the playoffs after they begin a season 0-2.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Working out of the gun, Daniels. A swing pass here to Edwards. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. They'll look to throw. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense as we eat closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. They'll look to throw here on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb.
And the Vikings are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Open man right side, Myers. And he will have a Vikings first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this turns into a nice game with a slide at the end. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Now throw right side here going to be incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Devon Achane, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdown passes as his guys bounce back from the defeat on opening weekend. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the New Orleans Saints and the LA Rams. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Here is 3rd and 5. Here's Daniels. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's Jones. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Well, that's the kind of play that was lacking all the way through the first half. Maybe this can give them a little bit of a spark because they're not out of this game by any stretch.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Azeez Ojulari bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw here. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
This is taken at the 15. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Throwing now is Daniels. That one caught by Rice.
That one a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw is Daniels. That's to Kraft, the tight end.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Able to find his man, Kraft.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
The 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
He'll drop to throw. Open man is Myers. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
A give for Dillon running right. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Ed Oliver able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth.
Now Daniels. That is caught.
And some room to maneuver. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
To the air goes Daniels. To the left side, into the hands of Odunze.
And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
First down,
Daniels looking to throw.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw now on first down. That'll be caught by Rice. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Looking to throw. Daniels.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown.
Tucker Kraft,
his first touchdown of the new season.
and the Cowboys are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Well, we lasted all the way to the fourth quarter without a touchdown being on the board, but here a key one to extend the lead.
Definitely, and I really doubt, though, that that's going to open the floodgates. What do you think, partner?
No, not the way that we've seen these defenses play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been rock solid, but we had to know that sooner or later, someone had to surrender a touchdown, and it happened right there.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Now back to throw. They'll set up a screen for Dillon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Back to throw again. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Azeez Ojulari make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll look to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Coverage by Kalen Boa.
They'll look to throw here. And that's incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They work now on 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Daniels. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He'll get this into the hands of Demboyz.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So nothing doing there. And that's going to make it 4th down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And his kick here is good.
Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride to the offense this go-around. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That was one they needed to connect on. They're down, but not quite out. So you have to figure, with under 2 minutes to play, they need to hit on something in very short order.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And while it's probably going to take a miracle at this stage, if they come down with this one in the end zone, they've still got a fighting chance. That one, however, winds up incomplete.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And out now come the Cowboys.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 15. Less than 90 seconds to go. They've yet to dent the scoreboard tonight. Now they've got to do it twice late if they want a chance here. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
He's got Smith-Schuster.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Able to find Jones. And he will have the Vikings 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
They'll look to throw again.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Just a difficult situation to be in here in the final minute. Down 2 scores. You know you need some providence from somewhere. They're going to keep firing away till the end, but this one falls incomplete.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Here's 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Dallas, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory.
And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.